Welcome to Optimize Every Day, where a daily improvement of 1% makes a huge difference over time. We discussed avatars and your avatar,
Hmm.
um, and just a brief overview of what an avatar is, just in case you missed yesterday's show. An avatar is a fictitious person who is used in typically advertising,
Hmm.
but it can be like used as a character
And a video
in
game.
video games and whatever else.
Yeah, those are
In this
avatars too.
case, we're looking at essentially an advertising type avatar. Um, and it is literally a fictitious person that identifies a demographic, a gender or age group,
Hmm.
the specific particulars that help somebody to
All the
promote their brand.
Yeah, and the brand you're using promoted to all the things that appeal to this type of person. So it
Correct.
could be like I think we discussed earlier, like a pain point or something, a problem they're
Yep.
trying to deal
Yep.
with. It could be a lot of things. It could be just
Right.
money they want to spend and don't know where to spend it. And we can tell you where to spend that money.
I did you yesterday, so it's
Pause.
your turn to do me,
All right. So
and not
so
in a double entendre
yeah. Pause. No Diddy. So I guess it's gonna go down. We say, what is the avatar? So the question is that we're answering here. What is the avatar that if I was selling you as a
hmm
product or a brand to the public or somewhere on social media or
hmm
something, what would that group look like?
Yep.
And this is now, we're not saying your business or your show. We're saying just you as a person.
Correct.
Okay. If I was to put you out to market you as a person, I would say we'll start with the age group like we did last time, I think, with mine. Um, I would say ages 27 or 28, somewhere in there, to about 55 to 60.
Okay. That's
Somewhere in
fair.
there. I could even go up higher. There's leakage on both sides. We can go lower
Yep.
or higher.
It could go a little bit higher, a
Yeah,
little
or
bit
lower.
lower, but
Yeah,
that's the target
that's the
range.
target range. And I would say somebody I sold you to would have to be uh, a dreamer. They have to believe there's more in store, that they can do better or more.
hmm
I also think they they have to be very driven and inquisitive. They have to be thirsting for the knowledge that you could possibly give them, right?
Okay.
They have to be thirsty. If they're not searching, they're not going to find you,
Right.
right? Kind of like God. If you're not searching for God, you ain't gonna find it, type thing. You know,
I agree with
yeah,
that.
people have to be thirsty for that. It's something they
Okay.
have to be desiring, and then they'll find you.
hmm
And I think so. It has to be providing value. So it has to be somebody looking for value.
Okay.
That's another thing. A pain point they might have is that they just want to self improve and this technique that you provide. So you're providing
hmm
a self improvement technique
hmm
of that I've never even heard of, and things that you've learned in your life you put together to say, hey, this is probably something to look at here, a way that it can be done. So I think they have to be looking to self improve. That would help in that demographic, and to narrow it down. Mm, Psychologically, they can't be the type of person, I don't think, who's too much in a rush. I think they have to be in a gradual state where they can take what you're giving them and put it to practice gradually on a daily basis. If they're looking for a right now, today, it fix all, it ain't happening. So we don't want to look for those people who are frantically, they have to be thirsty, but they have to be thirsty in a kind of a healthier, smoother, relaxed way in order to really get it, which is true of a lot of products and people. So that's about what I see there. I think I've covered most of it. Is there one that
I,
you want to add?
I think that looking at that, that would be fairly accurate.
Pretty close.
I think that the persons would need to be willing to be patient, because especially with this product that we're producing right
Yeah.
now, you know, somebody could listen to it and look at it and go, "This is kind of boring."
Yeah, it's not get rich quick today.
It's not. It's not get rich quick. It's not gain 20 pounds real quick. It's not lose 500 pounds real quick.
Exactly.
It's not, but it is, I want to make an improvement. I want to see my life improve and get better.
Through a steady diet, though.
Yeah.
A steady diet.
This is a steady diet of, you know, you have to
right
eat your
thing, one
you have to
thing.
eat your vegetables, and you have to eat your proteins, and you have to eat, you know, all the things that make up a good diet. In this case, we're not necessarily talking diet, but we're talking behaviors and attitudes, and changing those.
Which
that
is still
diet
it's
of
still a habit of
attitudes,
some type, right?
a habit
It's
of
a habit.
attitudes. I think you're pretty right on there.
Well, now that we've been talking about Avatar for a minute, I'm starting to get it because the movie keeps going through my head.
Those blue people.
The blue people, man, they were
But
beautiful.
I don't think that you're going to turn yourself blue anytime soon.
I need a new wife. She can be blue if she's like the lady in Avatar.
Well, you know, you could get her to turn blue. All you have to do is
paint her.
have her take the silver iodide long enough, and then she'll
that'll-
turn blue.
That'll work. That works for me.
You know, you just have to like the color blue.
I do. Blue Man Group and all that.
They are kind of cool too.
They're cool. Look like avatars.
So, with the Avatar, as we've discussed, if we were to market ourselves as a duo, do you think that we would need two separate avatars, or do you think that we would be able to deal with just one?
Well, that question doesn't make sense because if we market ourselves as a duo, it'd have to be one avatar.
Okay.
So it's pretty close to saying, well, or is it two?
I'm just looking at it as, you know, like the makeup type example that I gave, where, you know, you've got the lily white blonde blue-eyed girl, and then you've got the Irish redhead.
Yeah, the different tones.
That's a
the
totally
Asian
different
chick
dude,
that's lighter
and
than them all.
and the Asian chick,
And
and
the deep, dark, chocolatey sister.
from down in deep dark Africa,
Right.
and you know, the Hispanic girl from down in South America,
With the cocoa skin. She got that cocoa.
and whatnot, where you can have multiple avatars to sell the same product, but you're selling a slightly modified version of the same product and you're trying to hit everybody in a 30-second commercial.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And in that type of business, all they're selling is a look, so they can do that. When you're selling like talk shows or podcasts or something, you're selling the personalities of the people. So it's not just the look. The look's a part of it. They're going to see your look, and they might say, well, hey, this guy's Mexican, or this guy's, you know, this, and it's two guys doing a podcast. But so the look they're going to see, but it really comes down to the personalities that you're selling. You know,
I like the fact that you said one, because that takes the racial aspect out of it, because now we're not sitting there saying that we're racist in a negative way, and
We're actually saying the reverse. You would be saying in reverse. You'd be saying you're racist in a positive way. And some people will see it. They see a thumbnail, like they're going through some site like YouTube or something, and they see the black guy and the white guy, or this and that, or a man and a woman. They see unity, right? That's what they see. Some people will hate that unity. Some people will like it. But regardless, they still are going to see the race. Everybody's racist. There's no way around this. There are zero ways around that in life.
I just hate to see, where it's, somebody says the wrong word and they're canceled because, they used an improper word, and everybody goes down on top of them when, the usage of a word really doesn't mean a whole lot. Unless it's used in a negative or derogatory manner.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. I don't think people own words, man. I really don't think nobody owns the rights to any words. And I see groups today, they feel like they own the rights to words. Well, if I'm this, then I can say this. Well, if I'm this sexual gender structure of a color, then I can say these 3 words. Like, screw you, I'm gonna say whatever words I want.
It reminds me of the high school in California where the mascot of the school was Ahab the Arab, and the school was made possible by a guy named Ahab who was an Arab, and as a way to celebrate the guy, they went and said, we're going to have our mascot be Ahab the Arab. And the dude was flattered. And, that was 80 years ago. Now, today, we're saying, oh, we can't have that because, it's racist.
And we can't have chiefs, and we can't have Indians anymore in sports, and we can't have this.
Well, and we can't have midgets.
Well, guess what? And all these people existed. These are real groups of people. And it's a shame what has happened, and it's still happening to the American Indian. But how else are you going to even remember this history? You take away everything that says their name, everything that, I'm sorry, I just, we've become too woke. And what I mean by woke, I mean asleep to reality. But they, once again, they label everything opposite these days to confuse everyone. The people who claim to be woke are actually the ones who are asleep. And the people who claim to be feminist actually believe that women should be masculine. So how does this work? They keep trying to confuse us with these words. If you're a true feminist, then wouldn't you want women to be feminine?
Exactly.
Right? But they stand for masculinity, so it's like, you're using that word wrong. And then if you come out and say, hey, you're using that word wrong, or I can say that word too, then they cancel you.
Yeah.
That's
happening way too much.
This is an evil empire. Sick society we live in.
So I think that we should do a third show here. And then what we should do is then create an avatar so people get an idea of what an avatar is, and we'll give them kind of a basis of what it is. We'll write it out so that they can see what's going on, and then help them see what's in our head as to what we think an avatar should look like for, let's say, this show.
Yeah, it's the people. Yeah, I think it's the people that you want to route. In my case, I just want to route certain groups.
And I'd love to see what comments people make to see if what we're hitting is right. So why don't we plan that for tomorrow? Heck, this will be episode 3
That'll be the
on
next
this.
show.
That'll be the next show. So like and subscribe and stay tuned for tomorrow and make a comment and I will respond. And thanks so much for watching. We're out.
Out.